We're live.
Okay, we're live.
Okay, welcome everybody to our Facilities Committee meeting, November 15th. Especially to David from abroad and early morning get up this morning, so appreciate that. Unfortunately, we do not have a quorum today, but we will go through our informational business and we'll hold our approval of the minutes until our next meeting when we do have a quorum. I guess we'll go ahead and start with a review of our ongoing projects, and Douglas Avenue is at the top of the list. So.
Yeah, I'll kind of quarterback this out because everyone's been playing a part in so much of this. But I will actually, if you don't mind, I'll just start with this building. Everything's good.
Okay.
We do have some maintenance reserve projects upcoming that is going to address some flooring, wallpaper, and other superficial issues. Train, the company, the HVAC company, is busy replacing variable speed drivers, which is going to be a positive. So we're using maintenance reserve funds for that. These have to do with the individual controllers of our environment around the building. There's 22
air handling units. So it goes for each air handling unit has a VFD, so variable main drive, and we're replacing all of them to try to mitigate some of this continue running. It'll say that the fan's open 100%, and it's just running at 100% all the time. So these new devices are going to average that out to try to slow down the airflow.
And that hasn't. I'm sorry.
Reduce energy consumption.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And it gives us better control of the environment, which of course is needed for the collection of the exhibit areas and so forth. In Ryan's office, he's been working elsewhere.
It's most important.
Yeah.
Trying to run me out.
So there were 5, I think, replaced during the ESCO project where we had the HVAC upgrades and the solar and so forth a few years ago. But the ones that weren't replaced are over 18 years old at this point. So it was just time. But anyway, it's a maintenance reserve project and so forth. So we feel as though, even though Train is taking their time, they are getting done. So otherwise it's good. But yeah, so let's go ahead and Jonathan, if you would like to give an update where we're at with the Douglas Avenue work.
Sure. So as we're working through the schematic design phase of Douglas, some of the documents have been sent to DEB. We are just now, as of yesterday, getting our first cost estimates in. So this is the AE firm. They outsource their own cost estimate at this phase. So we get to go through that line by line. We met with the AE firm yesterday. They ran through kind of scenarios of how things are going to go as far as what the budget is and what we're looking at. And having our first look at it yesterday, we noticed just a couple of things. Finishes seems high at 427,000. So we're going to go take a more detailed look at things as far as room by room. And I think that's based on email conversation yesterday. So this is all brand new information to everybody. Email conversation yesterday. I think that's going to probably spur on a meeting with the architect Dave. So he's going to come through, and we'll go room by room with him and try to get an idea where this $400,000 in finishing is going. So we know the floors, we know some of the walls, but this number is a little high for us. So,
and the 400,000. Just for the finishing, the entire project was 725, I think.
743.
743. So the point is that we're using maintenance reserve funds to upgrade Douglas, and that just does not fit within our budget. And so there are certain rooms that we want to have in a certain condition, and other rooms where we feel as though it's just over the top. And so, of course, the more work they do, the more money they make. So we want to make sure that we're getting exactly what we asked for.
It's all part of the process.
Yeah.
And these finishings are to address things like the asbestos that we found in the or that.
So separate. Yeah,
separate one
for you guys. Yeah. So we're going to handle that first. We're going to handle that as a separate maintenance reserve project instead of the encapsulation, which is what we're going to do the full remediation. So we're taking it all out. So that's should be a low dollar amount, but we're going to handle that before any of this takes place.
Okay.
So that is step 1.
So the finishings would involve everything from, and they need it. The floors need to be, because they had carpet on them. I don't know if you remember your last walk over Douglas Avenue, but the floors are wooden, but they had glue put on them and then carpeted. So as such, it's best practices that we don't use carpeting in a collection storage facility. So they'll have to sand and refinish those floors. But they're basically, there are plenty of walls and whatnot within the facility. They're in perfectly fine shape. A coat of paint, they'll be fine. We feel as though they're maybe going over the top, replacing ceiling materials and so forth that just don't need to be replaced.
Yeah.
So thus the idea of the room by room walkthrough with the architect.
You remember there's the faux tin ceilings, really pretty, and they're thinking like drop ceiling in every room, very sterile, very clean. But I mean, that can be wiped out and changed. That kind of thing. Those conversations need to be had, and that's not for you guys. We'll run through the details with them room by room and make sure we knock that out.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's all on schedule. So surprisingly, which is always great.
And I did explicitly tell them that we owe a progress report to the American Alliance of Museums in 2030, but that our collections are overflowing and we want to have an opportunity to expand our collections within the next 2 years. They said that should be reasonable.
Has there been any work on the floor plan layout that we talked about jointly with RNC back in August, I think it was?
They upgraded it.
Yes.
They did. Okay.
Like I said, brand new yesterday. And the documents there. They've identified the rooms.
I give them. You probably have that stack.
Yeah.
It's a cleaner version than what we saw.
Or you have a duplicate.
And that's working.
Mine's right here. I can give it to you.
I got it. No, it's all right. And I guess if I get it electronically or it can go out to the committee electronically, I know you just got this yesterday. So. Yeah, I do see I do see a change.
We put our door back in.
Mm-hmm. Right.
We'll be able to access that room now.
Okay.
They said it was just closed before, and I was like, I don't think that's what that showed. But
yeah.
And so now it's an open door.
All right. That's good. Any questions? I guess Dave's the only one that's with us virtually. Any questions, Dave, about the schematic design and our current status with Doug Avenue?
No, but it will be nice to know how each room is going to be used eventually.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and at some point we'll have another joint meeting with RNC to kind of go over when we're ready for that, Jonathan. Yeah. I guess we're moving down to the Young Explorers Center.
Well, so I just want to point out that Jennifer has kind of been our clearinghouse of information for that, and has there's a lot of enthusiasm for the project, so she's been handling a lot. Ryan's been handling the logistics, and so they both have been kind of the primary drivers of the project. So Ryan, I'll kind of let you start with, and Jennifer, you're going to be showing some inspirational photos and so forth in the full board meeting. We have lined up, so she has a short set of slides that will hopefully get people excited about what will eventually go in there. So, Ryan.
Yeah, so working with Patterson Pope, which is the company that installed the Space Saver shelving in there, the movable shelving. So a lot of back and forth, but we using initial interest revenue from the endowment. We're scheduled for the week of December 8th through 12th. So Patterson Pope will be here first thing December 8th. They will remove the shelving. They'll disassemble it enough to get it out the door, down the hallway on the B side, to the freight elevator, to the loading dock, to Douglas, through the front door, down the hallway, into the auditorium. So it will be in a state of storage, organized storage in the auditorium until Douglas is ready to have it then reinstalled in the rooms of the committees and the curators choosing, whether that's 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever it might be. So that'll be good. And when it's there, it can be fixed shelving. It will be fixed shelving. We did verify with the company. Right now it's on tracks, but it can be fixed shelving. So it can be any configuration. It doesn't have to be all together. And it's obviously high-end, durable shelving fit for collections and library materials and whatnot.
I don't know, how do you measure that in square feet, or how's that shelf space measured?
There is a linear square footage. I don't have it right on hand.
Right.
But yeah, so some rooms might accommodate 3 pieces. Some might just be 1 piece. But it provides a lot of flexibility.
Right. Yeah, I'm just kind of curious how, I guess we can share that with RNC. Those like, how much, are you probably working with a curator or something?
Yeah.
How they're going to use that
Exactly.
space.
So we'll make sure everybody's got that exact number. And also the configuration. So some pieces are probably can only be reduced so much, and so we'll get all that. But yeah, it's exciting. So they anticipate a week of work, no more than a week. They can take 2 weeks if they want. But, so for our part, we've made sure that the library is cleared out, plenty of room. Obviously, the hallway, which was cleared out anyway for fire code reasons. But and then of course the loading dock and Douglas looks is in a fit state. I mean, the hallway's plenty of width. They've done the walkthrough. So yeah, we have a plan of action. Just got to execute. Thankfully, it's outsourced and we have the money to do it. And it's first major action from the endowment revenues. That's exciting. It's going to be. And so potentially for the February meeting, we will have an empty room. And I don't think anybody here has seen it empty or remembers it. I mean, a brief time in 2006, it was empty. So we'll get a better idea of what we have to work with.
And Dave and Tom, we're going to give a full report in the full board meeting about, we actually haven't outside of what we've emailed, we have not officially had a board meeting since the endowment gift was received and invested. So there is a plan there with the first part of it, executing Ryan's plan for the Space Saver compactors.
I saw that on.
Okay.
That's where we're at. That's going to be one of the first steps. We're trying to plan it out properly, so we don't want to do things like finishing work, wallpaper, painting until we get the shelving out. We don't want them or expect them to put holes in the wall when they're coming out. But, it's better to wait for that. There's no so whether it's scratches or whatever it might be. So pretty much have a plan of work from now through early to mid 2027 for the Young Explorer Center for major elements, flooring, walls, with the first step being shelving.
That's exciting, and I'm glad that you're going to present that to the full board. So I'm sure you'll be interested to hear about it.
And for anyone who hasn't seen the former library space, we'll certainly be open to providing access after the board.
Okay. The trailer, I know a little bit about this because we've been talking about it in the Labor Advocacy Committee, but that's for the minutes here. We should go ahead and get a summary on that.
Fortunately, the company that we contracted with has executed and moved the trailer. And Jonathan, you want to provide an upgrade? Want to provide an update on the trailer rehab?
Sure, project. Oh, great. So we just going back to the very beginning, put it out bid, had a company bid on it. We went through 2 companies who came and looked at it, but this is too much for us to take on. The third company, Spevco, is the originator. They're the ones who originally put the trailer together for the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. So it is now with them, Spevco in North Carolina. They have done a full top to bottom review of the trailer, and we got back information. Information's neither good nor bad. The original chassis, there's rust damage to it, and the life expectancy isn't forever. So taking that in mind, we've given them kind of a scope of work to get the trailer back to Waynesboro, get it functional, clean out the inside, remove any of the extra switches and lights and all the. If you guys have been there, there's you can flip 5 switches and nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
So those are all going away. Renovating the inside and then putting a new wrap on the trailer. We've gotten a quote for that, and then now we're waiting on an itemized list back from them to put in the PO form, sign the PO form, and get it done.
So the chassis condition, does that prevent it from actually traveling very much anymore, or is it going to be pretty much a fixed?
It'll be fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's roughly they were saying, let's just put it back let's put it back where it was. Get it opened up for you, and then that's really kind of the limitations of the safety.
Yeah.
You had about 3 to 5 more years before the floor starts,
right.
becoming that done. I mean, they're going to work to add supports to the floor to ensure that it is safe for everybody. But yeah, so it's on its last wheel.
Yeah. So what do we call it now that it's no longer a trailer?
Global.
A mobile out. No, it's still a mobile. An immobile outreach.
we might need to work on that. Actually, I did from at least one person who's very good with this kind of stuff. They're like, "You're calling it what?" I mean, the acronym doesn't even do anything for you. So we ought to actually take this opportunity to kind of rebrand it.
Yeah.
You know, so we have not worked on that at all. So we're open to ideas as to what to call the what we used to call the mobile science education trailer or unit or whatever. So
yeah, we had it reminds me of a truck that we actually had when we were doing work up at JMU, and we called it the Mobile Environmental Laboratory, and it was the MEL. Everybody called it the MEL. But,
yeah.
you know, I don't know. You need some good name for it, because I'm not saying MEL is a good name.
I understand, but the DMFA, they call theirs the Artmobile, and it just rolls off the tongue. So we need to come up with something, you know, specific for Waynesboro, especially since the idea of we're going to park it,
And it's going to be fixed there for 3 to 5 years until.
and then once they start to dig up the asphalt, we just come up with a plan. Whether we put it somewhere else and run it, or surplus it, or whatever we decide to do with it, you know, it will be a fixed asset there. So, but also keep in mind that could have a third life, you know, after it's done at the lot.
Okay. I think that summarizes our ongoing projects. Do we have anything else in the hopper that
I'll just,
aware of?
excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm struggling a little bit this morning. Something respiratory has got me. I don't think I'm sick. It's more like feels more like an allergy, so I do apologize. I will point out that even though the work on the G.N.S. Adams Education Pavilion is finished, the upgrades, or I should say upgrades, but the additions to the exhibits will continue. So that's work that's ongoing. We have a new exhibits manager that starts Monday. So we're very excited about that. So eventually that will end up in her queue. But Christy in particular has already started programming out there, and it's been a very nice asset.
Good. And we still have an exhibits subcommittee of education. Is that where?
Yeah.
Now, something like that.
Yeah, the exhibit committee met about 2 weeks ago. Honestly, it was Nathan and Christy.
Right.
So I don't know that there was a lot of talk about.
Right. So we're handing it off to them.
Sort of, kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, once we get a full assemblage of board members and move our board back up to 15, I'm sure Melanie will be looking hard at committee assignments.
Yeah, and that's the really only thing I had to bring up in open discussion is I knew we had some new board members, and maybe there's an opportunity to bring somebody with an interest in facilities or expertise in facilities onto this committee. So I'll try to relay that message to Melanie as well, and maybe as I introduce myself to the board this morning, encourage the new members to join committees that are of interest to them.
Yeah, actually, I've never personally thought of this, but maybe a person who has facilities management experience would be a good. We've never brought that up, you know. So I'm thinking if somebody who's maybe run another museum or some other facility that require like a sports arena or something, might be somebody who's good because they would bring that open perspective to the board and to the staff.
Right. Well, and I'm glad David has joined us because of his expertise
Yes.
in collection.
Absolutely.
And the facility around collections. So.
Yeah, I have some experience, not with sports arenas, but with museums.
Right. Yeah, no, it's valuable.
It's a different sport.
Anything for open discussion, David, that you wanted to bring, or?
No, I'm just, like I say, I'm interested.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll continue to
Douglas to see that it's moving forward.
Yeah.
I've never seen the trailer, so I don't know much about that.
Oh, we'll have to bring you to Waynesboro sometime.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Hearing nothing else, I'll go ahead and call us adjourned. And that should give us time to some of us move
We're on
next
to our
door
stuff.
Yeah,
to the research.
yeah, we have 10 minutes, but
Yeah.
yeah. Get that rolling.
Thanks, Bobby.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Dave.
Dave, thank you. All
Sure.
right.
I
See you
hope
at the
I'll be
next.
more awake for the main meeting.
We'll see you then.